Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the second week of our summer Tech Bytes programs, which we are starting here at the Schaumburg Library. Today is the second week of our MIT App Inventor, where we are learning about a new concept and a new part of technology, which we haven't really dived that much into, involving apps and the app development process. A new program which we're starting here, and hopefully you guys will be enjoying this as well. Looks like I missed a countdown. I'm sorry about that, Avanish, but it is great to see that we got a new crowd of people coming out here today who are interested, and hopefully we will continue to see you guys at our other programs, which we'll touch upon in a little bit as well. So earlier today, we got to meet all you guys, but how about we introduce who me and my partner Lobby are. My name is Ryan Sticky, guys. I'm an incoming freshman at the University of Illinois at Chicago who will be majoring in computer science. Recently graduated, for those of you might know, from Conant High School here in the Schaumburg area. And now over the summer, looking forward to hopefully piquing your guys' interest in this topic of technology as well.
And my name is Love DJ, and I, just like Rayan, graduated from Conant High School just a few weeks ago, and I will be going to University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign for computer science, and I'll be coding a ton in the next 4 years and hopefully landing a cool job after that, hopefully, but yeah. And yeah, go ahead.
Well, now, usually guys, how we like to start these classes is have a set agenda for the day, know what we're doing. And today is going to be a bit unique because we're starting off, for those who were here in our spring programs, we usually had a quote or meme war for every day. But today we're going to start something new called a debate war, I guess you could call it, a debate for the day. It's a quick little 3 to 4 minute topic, which we're going to discuss, and then we'll hear you guys' thoughts. And then we'll move on towards talking about the whole MIT App Inventor class, and moving on towards actually creating our first app for the day. But for today, for the OGs here, we're moving on towards a new topic, and the debate has started.
All right, so the topic of the debate is aliens may be living among us. Do you agree or disagree, and why? Anyone can go.
I don't even think there's aliens in among.
Ooh.
I agree, and you can tell because they're the people that love mint chip ice cream.
Oh wow! Shots fired right there.
No, it's the people.
Direct shot.
It's the people who don't like mint ice cream. It's because they don't have taste buds.
Wait, guys, listen. So when you're describing aliens, you have to describe what is an alien, because an alien, it could be either a squirrel, it could be either. Like it could be a human, but like it could be like an alien. Like for example, a deer, it could be an alien among us.
Unidentified extraterrestrial object.
So identify, what does aliens mean? Identify, what does it mean? What is an alien in the first place? Because you can't just say this guy is an alien, because identify what an alien means.
Okay, I can identify it. Anything that isn't from this planet, that's an alien.
Okay, extraterrestrials. So we would technically be aliens because when this planet was created, a meteorite crashed on the Earth, and then from there the bacteria started evolving, creating humans. So that would be extraterrestrials. So technically, for this planet, we are aliens.
Woo! That's the correct answer. You win the debate. I love it.
Charles Darwin's young ancestor, I think, looking around here. Give us the full explanation. Thank you, Trevor. Yeah, I mean, so that's up for discussion. What do we consider aliens? I mean, I think just non-humans and stuff which we aren't used to seeing. And I think that often goes
Well, think about the aliens' perspective. Even if there were aliens, they would just consider us meat, walking legs.
You walking legs on me, yeah. So that question then becomes, what forms like can aliens come in? Are they just like physical objects or physical people? Are they people we haven't seen? You know, there's often, like, if I go on Google right now and search up
Elon Musk is an alien.
Is Elon Musk an alien? Yeah. Like, do we expect aliens to actually look like this?
When I dream about aliens, I just dream about them looking like weird creatures.
Recently, you know, actually the US government released like a report that there are like UFOs or like flying objects which they can't identify. This is like
My dad said there's been like coming signals from the sky.
okay.
Yeah, I think they
Can I have a
posted
pop?
they sent out a video too, like a 2 or 3 minute video of a UFO. It's on YouTube.
Or it could just be Russia's top secret aircraft.
Or that.
Highly likely.
Oh, it's the thing I'm building in my basement.
Over here's the video they released. Parito saying it could be fake. Yeah, it could be, but I think this is official video by the U.S. Army being released here, or the Pentagon.
Is it just a picture?
I don't believe in this.
Oh, there we go.
System is it? It's not on Earth, man. But if there's another thing, it's
I'm
rotating.
not sure it's inaudible.
that a
Maybe the
UFO?
UFO, they couldn't identify it because they had a high tracking system. They canceled their navigations of us.
Aliens are going to be like
Yeah.
6'11". Well, let's get a vote here. For those of us who do believe that aliens or some type of extraterrestrial life does exist beyond what we know about, let's get a thumbs up. Let's see how many you got. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. SJ, I see that you don't have your thumbs up. Want to explain why?
I just don't believe in them.
All right. Party Coach, do you think it's still fake?
What's for no?
I kind of think it's real. At the same time, I don't think it's real. I'm like in the middle.
Well, I think it's something you gotta experience to believe it. Anybody have any crazy stories?
You guys should look into some of the science behind it. There's some people that have put a lot of thought into it, and there's a couple of theories like the Great Filter, in that any civilization that is advanced as far as we have would have somehow shielded themselves, or that we are also so far apart in distance that we won't be able to, like, for instance, our own galaxy is 100,000 light years to get from one end to the other. And that's just our galaxy. There could be no other life in our galaxy. Go to the next galaxy, though, there could be, but that's millions of light years away. And how did we as humans get there? So.
Well, I think there was like, okay, I know our time is up, but
I have a feeling that what if like the only reason they haven't attacked us is because it's against universal law and there's some like secret court out there that's in just they like are the supreme authority throughout all the galaxies.
So this is something 40 years ago, NASA sent out like a golden disc into space, and it could transmit a message, and there was like stuff on the disc talking about humans and if somebody ever received it, but I don't think any progress was made or anybody received it. So we're still gonna be playing the waiting game, but
It's lost in space.
lost in space, exactly.
There is a really good sci-fi book that the premise is basically that we keep sending out messages and finally we get a response back, and the response back is stop sending out messages or else they're going to hear you.
Oh,
So.
that's kind of creepy, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah.
Good premise for a sci-fi book.
All right, so sharing that somebody unscrambled the records. Oh, yeah, interesting. Okay. The golden records, I guess they're called, yeah. Alrighty, well, that concludes the debate for today, a sci-fi horror type theme, I guess, Chase, you could say. More debates and topics to come about in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed that. But now let's shift our gears towards talking about maps, maybe aliens, we'll see.
All right, so before we do move on to MIT App Inventor, totally different topic than aliens, but let's just go through all of the sessions that are going to be going on throughout the summer. Web Development Bell Day, that's every Monday, that happened yesterday. We saw a lot of you. Okay, Mint Chip equals the best player around. No, stop.
Well, you're working it, otherwise you should know.
The best way to find out if someone's an alien, try to serve them in chip. It'll show if they're an alien or not. They can't eat it, otherwise it will take them out of it will show us what they really look like. That's why Elabdi and Joe don't like mint chip.
Oh man. All right, back to Tech Bytes. So Web Development Bell Day on Mondays. We will be solving really cool problems using code, and that'll be more of the challenging session from the 3 to 4 sessions that we have. So if you guys want to give yourselves a challenge, do come on that day. And then MIT App Inventor is every Tuesday. That's today, where we create actual apps using block code, but also a really cool platform that MIT made. Wednesdays, that's tomorrow, will be web project development. We're going to use the same language as Monday, so JS, HTML, and then plus CSS, that's the styles, to make a whole project. We still need to decide what we're going to be making. So if you guys still have any ideas that you want to put out, just reply to or fill out that form that Rayan made last week, and then give us your ideas, and we'll.
Hey, where is that form?
That is on Google Classroom. Yeah.
I thought it's a Google form. It's on the classroom, like for the ideas.
Yeah, so it's kind of like homework or a test.
What is a Google Classroom's code?
Wait like 30 seconds and we'll show you. All right, so and then finally, video gaming hour Thursdays, twice a month. Basically what we've been doing so far, but we won't just play Among Us now. We'll try to put in various different games and show you guys how computer science relates to those video games, and have fun, play that video game for about an hour, and yeah. And everything starts at 1 p.m. So yeah.
And then here is the code, Sivish, for our Google Classroom. I think Chase also put it in the chat. QAF7IBJ. Be sure to join that so you can get access to all of our resources on the Google Classroom. We post daily, along with our video links, any code links we use for that day, and with a recap of what we accomplished. So be sure to be on there for any communications me or Lobby make as well.
We've got so many helpers, Ryan, for putting code in the chat.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see everybody coming together.
Yep.
So do let us know if you guys have any questions when logging in, but I think we should all be fine. Just need a Google account to log in. Alrighty, well now let's transition into Chase and Avanish Tech Byte veterans. Good to see you guys out.
All right, so this is something we did go over last time. It's the whole process of the MIT App Inventor, and we just wanted to go over this before we actually code inside the platform, just so all of us are on the same page. So what we went over last time was the 3 steps to making an app and testing it on MIT using the MIT App Inventor. The first one is making the user interface, so designing the app, putting in buttons, pictures, as you see. There are even text boxes, labels, audio, video, all that cool stuff. And then after we do put in all of that, it's a simple drag and drop. We need to add in logic, so tell the computer or the app what to do when I click the, let me annotate, the red button. So if I click the red button, change the image to a dog or something. And then finally, in order for us to make sure that the app works, we need to, of course, run it and test it. That's a huge aspect of programming, where you can't just code something and hope for the best, cross your fingers and deploy it or give it to your teacher or turn it in. You actually have to test it multiple times, and that's where the QR code comes in. And that's the really cool part of MIT App Inventor that I love. Where you just have to download an app that I think the next slide will show you guys. And I also put that in the Google Classroom. And once you do download that, just scan a QR code from your project, and you'll be able to run your app on your phone. And we will be doing that today. So yes, get excited.
And like Labdi was saying, guys, be sure to download the app so you guys can actually run the apps we create from your laptop or desktop onto your actual phone. If you guys have an iPhone or an Android, it works for both. Just go to your Play Store or the App Store and search up MIT Companion app. It should be the first app which pops up.
Yep. And I put the name in the chat, so you guys can refer to that as we do move on to actually coding the problem. Or not problem, coding an app.
Yep, exactly. Right there.
And Amanish is showing what it looks like. Nice, Amanish.
Sashni asking, do we have to download it right now? Sashni, if you can, that'd be great. I think towards the end, we'll try to deploy the app we create today. But if not, no worries, just have it ready for next time.
So one thing before we do move on, I kind of went over this last week, but if you want to run the app on your phone, you'll have to be coding in your own platform. So you have to log into MIT App Inventor on your own computer and copy the things that we do on, the main screen. Because in order for you to run your app using the QR code, your phone and the computer need to be in the same Wi-Fi, using the same Wi-Fi. So you can't scan the QR code that we present on the screen because that will not work. So just a heads up, if you want to test the app out, you'll have to be coding with us. In school, I created a game on MIT App Inventor. Oh, cool, nice.
Alrighty, well, let's talk about what we're going to be focusing on today for the next period of this program. We're going to be looking at, last week we had sort of some time to go about free roam the MIT App Inventor website, see how the platform works, how we can drag and drop elements like interface elements onto the screen, and then how we could connect that to actual code. Today we're going to be doing it more formally, looking at how we can put buttons and other user interface elements like text fields and switches, stuff like that, onto a phone screen, and then how we are able to connect those to a block code, which we are able to write out. So for example, if I click a button, I want the image to change, or if I click a button, I want a certain piece of text to be displayed. Looking at how that works, and then towards the end, actually being able to run whatever we create onto our devices as well. So if you do have the app downloaded, that'd be great, but if not, it's totally fine. You can have it ready next week as well.
And today, before we do go on to the website, today we'll be making a simple app where we're going to have a button that we click. We're going to change the text of that button, maybe change some colors of that button to see the UI. And then we'll code in the logic to change the text of a label if we click that button to before and after. So it's going to be a simple app, but we'll cover a lot of different parts of the platform.
All right, so without any further ado, let's get towards the MIT App Inventor website, and I will drop the link in the chat as well.
All right, cool. Let's see. All right.
Lashni, if you do have access to your computer, that would be nice, so you can actually code on there.
Yep. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we are on the website, appinventor.mit.edu, and I'm going to click Create Apps. So I'm going to be forwarded to my projects. Let's just go. Oh yeah, this is my project. So this is kind of like a dashboard. This is not where I want to go to. Okay, so this is a dashboard where I can see all of my projects that I've worked on so far. There's only 2, sadly, but today we're going to start a new project, and that's going to be called Tech Bytes Week 2. Yes. Okay. And once I do create that project, I will click on it, and there we go. This is the IDE, or the Integrated Development Environment, basically where we will code our app or develop our app. This part, I'm just giving you guys an overview of all of the different aspects that we did go over last time, but I'm going to do it in like 2 minutes. So this is the design part, and this is the block section. So kind of like Scratch or Blockly, something that some of us might have done before. And what I said before, if we want to drag something, we can just drag stuff here. So yeah, that was a very brief overview. And let's start with step 1. Step 1 was to design our app. And today we're just going to be making a simple button changes text app. And for that, first we'll need a button. And let's put that button over here. Now, if you guys look at the right-hand side of the screen, there's this whole thing called properties. And properties just means the characteristics of that button. So basically background color default, well, I can change that to cyan, or font size, I can change to a huge font size. Let's try 28, and that's pretty cool. Font typeface is default. I'm gonna keep that as default. And then right at the bottom, there's something called text. So text for button 1. I'm gonna change this text to say click me. And if I press enter, this text changes. So that's pretty cool. And finally, text color. Let's actually change this cyan to blue. And then let's change the text color to white. Cool. That's very bright. Those are very bright colors, but they look cool. So yeah. All right. And then we can also add an image in here, but we won't go over that today because today we're starting off small, and then we're gonna be building off of our skills so that towards the end we'll be handling images, recordings, all of that cool stuff. So yeah, we did our button. Now the next step is adding a place where we can display our text, and that is what we call a label. So here I will put in my label. Let's put the label above the button because I want to. And a kind of side note here, this is how a little bit how designers or front-end developers design apps. They just try putting in text below the button or above the button, whatever looks better, they go with it. But that's again higher level. Once you go to like higher companies, they actually have a whole team working on designing an app. So yeah. So our label over here, let's go on to properties. Background color, let's keep to none. Font bold, let's make our font bold, and let's increase our font size to, let's say, about 37. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Has margins, yes, we want margins. Height and width, we want to keep automatic. And let's keep text to before. So we know that this is the text before. Now, again, as I said, we'll be building slowly. So we're gonna start out small. Now that our design is done, we have our text or our label where we will put in our text and our button. They're designed the way we want them to be. And now it's time to add in the logic. So what do I want to do? We want to click this button. And if I click that button, we want this text to change. And if I go to blocks, we will do exactly that. And this is how we do it. So if I click on button 1 under screen 1, I get all these cool blocks that are associated with the button. And right at the top, so when button 1.click,
Hey guys. Sorry, I got muted.
No problem. So when the button 1 is clicked, we want to do something. What do we want to do? How about you guys say? Again, what is our goal? When I click the button, what do we want the text to do?
To print tech bytes forever.
Okay, we can do that. So from what we have right now before, we'll print tech bytes forever. Let's do that. Let's go to label now because now we want something from the label to change. Set label.background color. No, we want to set the text of the label 1 to something. All right. And since it's block code, it's really easy to work with. But just because it's block code, don't think that this is like too easy of a code because code is never easy. You can add in really hard logic to any type of language or code, including block code. I've seen some very complicated applications and programs that like developers have coded using block code. So we're gonna click on text and just add this pink block in here. And we will set label1.text to, as Chase said, tech bytes forever. All right, and that's about it for our first step. We have added the design, the button and the text or the label, and then we have coded that part in our block section. Now the last step, the final step, is to run it on our phones. And let's take a look at how it looks like. So I'm going to click on Connect and then AI Companion. So this is where the QR code comes in, and I'm going to scan it with my phone. Let's see.
Can you go to the code again? I didn't finish it.
Yep. Blocks. So first one is you click on button 1 and drag this out. So when button 1 is .quick, do. And then second is you click on label 1 and then set label 1.text too. And then finally, the third block is just bring out a text block, attach it to the green one.
Now, as everybody is getting the code ready, I'm going to sort of draw a parallel. If you're working on like an app for the App Store, it's a bit similar to the process. Or if you're making an app for the Android Play Store as well, it's similar how you drag and drop user elements onto a screen if you'd like. And then you were able to connect those user interface elements like buttons, labels, text fields to actual code. It's just that with MIT App Inventor, it makes our lives much more easier by having these drag and droppable blocks. If you were making an app for the App Store, it'd be a different programming language along with a different programming language if you were to make something specifically for the Android store. But what we're doing with this MIT App Inventor class is a good foundation of learning how we actually go about developing apps. So,
yeah, in fact, it's a really good foundation because the only change or the only major change from this MIT App Inventor and let's say Android Studio, that's what you use to make Android apps, is the language. So instead of using block code, you will use Java.
How did you get the block tech bytes forever?
Yeah, so Tech Bytes Forever, you go to text, this pink one, and then you drag the first one with an empty quotes. You drag it over here. I'll just delete this Tech Bytes Forever and then do it again. So you drag it over here, and then you click inside this light pink box, and you type in Tech Bytes Forever.
Oh.
All right, give me a thumbs up if we are done with the code and if we're ready to connect or build or run our project. Okay, we got one. Yeah, I got you, Kutosh.
all right, that's J2.
Okay, we got 3, 4. All right, are we waiting on anyone? Give me a, or like anything other than a thumbs up. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run this app on, or yeah, run this code on my app, MIT App Inventor Companion. All right, so I'm gonna say connect AI Companion and then scan the QR code. And it's loading 15%. If my Wi-Fi is not, oh, there we go. All right.
If we wanted to change it, like, excuse me. I saw like work when I clicked it, it says Tech Bytes Forever. But what if we wanted to put what if we clicked it a second time and then it'll show a different word?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Actually, that was, Avnish, you're like reading my mind, but that was the next step that we were going to be finishing off with today. So yeah, that's exactly what we were going to be doing next. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys what it looks like on my phone. If I can see. All right, so if I'm gonna click here, it's gonna say Tech Bytes Forever. So yeah, that works just like we wanted it to work. And let's move on to our next step. So our next step is however many times we click, or actually if we click a second time, we want the text to change to something else. And the way we do that is using a global variable, and that is something we get from a list of variables. So the orange block. So first we're going to initialize a global variable, and we're going to call it, all right, I know it's disconnected. we're gonna call it counter because it's gonna count how many times we click on the button. All right, so initialize counter 2, and then in our math, we're gonna set counter to 0. And then inside this one button, when it's clicked, we're gonna add in a conditional. Remember, we learned about conditionals for those of you who did come on Monday. Conditionals are basic if and else statements. So a really basic analogy is if it's raining, then I'll bring out an umbrella. Same thing we apply in this code. So if the counter is 0, so it's the first time I'm going to be clicking the button, then I want to set the label .text to tech bytes forever. And that logic I'm going to get in control. So if variable, let's see, variable, all right. Well, hold up. Sorry, it's logic. Okay, so if our get global counter, so if our variable counter is equal to, let's get a number for math. If it's equal to 0, we're gonna set label 1 to the text for label 1 to tech bytes forever. Now I'm gonna add in else if.
What does this code do?
I'm sorry?
What does this code do? Like the thing we just added?
Yeah, so you know what Avanish said? What if we clicked on the button a second time? Well, if we did click on the button a second time with the code we already had, nothing would have happened. But now what we're trying to do is the first time we click the button, the text changes to tech bytes forever. But the second time we click the button, the text can change to something else that we do put in. So we're allowing the user to click on the button multiple times and the text to change multiple times when the user clicks on the button. Cool.
Now we just changed the text, right?
Very cool. I'm sorry?
Now we just changed the text, right?
Yeah, we're just changing text right now. So I'm gonna copy and paste this this whole green block with the orange block, and instead of 0 now, I'm gonna say 1. And then that's also a cool part of MIT App Inventor, like block code, is you can still copy and paste your blocks. All right, so now instead of tech bytes forever, we're gonna say Lobd is the best. Don't worry guys, I'm not a narcissistic person, it's okay. All right, so let's check if this works. So basically, we're just gonna go over the block logic right now. If the user clicks on the global variable, oh, I forgot.
I don't have like that. You had the if then, and then I don't have the else if, and then the other then.
Okay, no problem. The way you add it in is you click on this blue button and then add an else if right inside that if.
So I have to code like the whole thing, then only it works, right? Like the second word.
Yeah. And then one last thing that I forgot to add in is we're gonna set our global variable, so global counter, to let's add math, to whatever the value of global counter is. So get the value of global counter plus, we're gonna get math plus 1. So basically we're gonna add 1 to global counter because that counts how many times I click on the button. And every time I do click on the button, we want the counter to go up once. And once I have this block, I'm just gonna copy and paste and put it under both sets. So every time I set the text of the label to something different, I'm gonna add 1 to the global counter. So yeah, I believe this won't give me any bugs, but we'll have to test it anyway. So let's go ahead and open our app and run it again. Now I know I went a little bit quicker than last time, but are we getting the hang of it? Or should I wait a couple? Should we wait a couple of minutes?
Like wait a couple of minutes.
Okay, cool.
Now, as we're going through this and waiting, notice how the concepts which we're using, guys, to make this app, they're super similar to what we learned about in our previous spring programs in programming, right? We have variables. It's just a bit different how it looks like. We got our global variable, which we're using the counter in order to keep track of when we need to change the text. We also got the conditional statements, right? Checking when are we supposed to display a certain piece of text. And then we're manipulating our variables too, in a sense, right? When we're changing a global counter variable to a different value, adding by one so that we can show a different text. So going from text bytes forever to lobby is the best. So showing that difference in our variable, right? So it's this idea of the concept is still the same, just the way how we're coding it in block code is just a bit different.
Yeah, and then I was just noticing how block code looks really complicated once we're really used to like the text in Python, because I'm just trying to imagine all this code in Python, and it would be like 7 lines of code and not like all these different colors and blocks and all that.
Exactly. And guys, as we're going through this, if you guys have any questions, you can unmute or ask me your lobby.
Yeah.
It works.
All right, start giving us some thumbs up or any sign once you are done with coding. All right, 1 thumbs up, 2 thumbs ups, 3 thumbs up.
Where do you get the block if then else if then?
So for this if then statement, we go to control. That's
Okay.
the dirty yellow color.
Uh-huh.
And then to add in that else if, we click on this blue button.
Okay.
And then so drag this else if inside this if.
Okay.
Over here. So that changes this structure overall.
Okay.
All right, SJ Avenue Chase.
Wait, what did you put in the backpack?
In the backpack. So this was from last time. Remember when Avnish, you asked, right? What the backpack was about? I just put it in the backpack to show you how it's kind of like that copy and paste feature. You can delete it. Oh no, it's still there.
It just keeps copying it.
It's fine. Let's
where do you get the block? The green block equals 0.
Yeah, so the green is over here in logic. So it's kind of easy in blocks where it's very much color coordinated. So green is here, green, which is logic, and this is the if something is equal to something. And then the first something I did was the get global counter, and that's in variables. So get this. And then I drop down, and then we only have 1 variable, so that's easy. So once we do get that, the second something that we want to set, or we want to check if global counter is equal to, is a blue block, so that's in math. And that's just a basic number. And first we just check if it's equal to 0. And then make sure you copy this and then paste it in the else if, and then just change the 0 to a 1.
What if you wanted to do it like 10 times? You had to do like 10 copies of the same thing.
So right now we only wanted to do it 2 times, but we can do 10 if else statements. But remember what we learned in algorithmic programming back in January, February, like all those 5 months, and what we are learning in Valdez is that the more efficient your code is, the better. So whenever you want to iterate through something for a big number of times, you don't do like 20 or 10 or 20 if else statements. What do you use?
Loops.
Yeah, there you go.
4.
Or another way that I just found or thought of was we can have an array of different things we want to display. And every time we click on the button, a random text from that array displays. That's also another way we can allow the user to click multiple times without coding like a bunch of lines of code. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and run this and everyone can follow me, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna scan the QR code once more. And dun dun dun. Cool. So I got this app, and once I do click, it goes to Tech Bytes forever. And then the second click, it goes to Lobby's the best. Okay, this worked. Is everyone on the same page? Did it work for everyone else? Yeah, we got yes from British.
Tin asking about where's the loop block. So Tin, that's like an extension, like Claudia was talking about, if you wanted to have multiple text being displayed.
It's in control. It's while or for. Is this for loop? While loop. Oh, what? Okay. And then for those of you who are ahead and don't want to wait, you can try different things. These blocks are kind of self-explanatory. And also, if you guys want to go ahead in Designer, maybe add a checkbox, change colors based on checkbox, try different things. You can try them. And if they don't work, don't worry, you can ask us after class. And if they do work, you can show off and show everyone else as we finish up the class.
All right.
Are we all good? Any errors? No. Going once. No errors?
Can you go to the code again? I'm still trying to do it.
No problem.
We'll post a image of the code to a screenshot. I think that'd be helpful. I'll send that to you, Lobby.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop sharing. And for those of you who are still coding, like Ryan said, we're gonna post the image, the code image on Google Classroom. So you guys will be able to finish like right after.
Exactly. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, I think everybody, I was looking at the list, everybody is in the Google Classroom. So look out for any updates we post, asking questions there as well. And that brings us till the end for the second week of our MIT App Inventor class. As a reminder, guys, tomorrow we have web project development where we're going to start our first and potentially one large project tomorrow, and then video gaming hour this Thursday as well. Other than that, hopefully, guys, be sure to sign up for everything else with the name Tech Bytes today. We hope to get you guys there too. Take care and see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. See ya.